Amidst escalating geopolitical tensions, China is slowly but surely developing one of the most dangerous weapon systems in modern history, the Type 096 nuclear ballistic submarine. Its existence has long been a myth, spoken of only through intelligence leaks, defense analyst reports, and vague satellite imagery, but little by little, its outline is coming into focus. Military observers in the West are beginning to realize that this vessel is no mere routine project. It is a symbol of China's nuclear ambitions, surpassing anything previously built. The submarine is a crucial part of China's military evolution. Since the early 2020s, the Type 096 program has progressed at a staggering pace. Satellite imagery from the Bahai shipyard Beijing's most secretive submarine factory shows a massive structure believed to be the Type 096's hull being assembled. Analysts say the project is progressing faster than the construction of the United States Columbia-class SSBN, for a country that just a decade ago was considered a technological catch-up. This progress is a wake-up call for Washington. China has struggled for years to catch up to Western nuclear submarine standards. The Type 094, while a major step forward for China's nuclear triad, is still considered too noisy and too easily detected by the U.S. Virginia-class submarines. U.S. Navy commanders have called the Type 094 an old-generation nuclear submarine in a new skin, capable, but not perfect. But the Type 096 is a completely different story. With its larger size estimated to displace more than 20,000 tons at depth, it carries significantly better sensors, propulsion systems, and sound insulation. The Type 096 is said to use a raft design, a vibration damping system based on rubber pads and a floating internal structure that intercepts engine noise before it travels to the hull. Acoustic analysts estimate it could produce noise below 100 decibels, approaching the level of modern Russian nuclear submarines and even rivaling early models of the U.S. Ohio-class submarines. If true, it would be an underwater ghost difficult to track and potentially sneaking into sensitive areas undetected. Despite its impressive stealth, the aspect that most concerns the U.S. is its primary weapon. The JL-3A next-generation ballistic missile is what transforms the Type 096 from a regional threat to a global one. It has an estimated range of over 6,200 miles, comparable to the world's most powerful strategic missiles. With such a range, the Type 096 never needs to sail far from Chinese naval protection. Even if it remains in the Bahai Bay or the protected waters of the South China Sea, a JL-3 missile is capable of hitting the entire west coast of the United States. And thanks to its MIRV capability, a single missile can carry multiple warheads, each capable of striking a different city. This capability establishes what experts call a credible nuclear deterrent. While China once had to come out of its shell to threaten the U.S., it can now keep these submarines in safe territory and still ensure a lethal nuclear retaliation. One of the most intriguing mysteries surrounding the Type 096 is Russia's alleged involvement. Closer ties between Beijing and Moscow post-2022 have opened new doors for military cooperation between the two countries. While Russia has been fiercely protective of its submarine technology for decades, geopolitical pressures and economic needs have made it more open to Chinese demands. Analysts believe Russia played a role in the development of the pump jet propulsion system and edge-driven thruster design. This technology was previously found only on the most modern nuclear submarines, such as Russia's Boray and Akula II classes. If true, China has now achieved at least a generational technological leap compared to initial expectations. The Rubin Design Bureau, a leading name in the Russian submarine world, is said to have contributed technically to the Type 096's design. Some of the Type 096's hull profiles and internal structures even bear similarities to those of the Boré-class SSBN, a submarine known as one of the quietest in the world. This collaboration is a dangerous signal for the United States and its allies, as the combination of Russian technology and substantial Chinese funding is a powerful combination. The United States has for decades held the upper hand in undersea warfare. Los Angeles, Seawolf, and Virginia-class submarines have given them absolute dominance in detection and acoustic capabilities. But China's growing capabilities, particularly the Type 096, are slowly changing that equation. Pentagon officials have expressed concern about this new capability. With its high stealth and long-range missiles, the Type 096 can operate far beyond China's safe zone. In fact, some analysts argue that China could now potentially send its submarines closer to the Central Pacific Ocean without detection. Such a move would change the entire U.S. defense doctrine in the Indo-Pacific. U.S. P-8 Poseidon surveillance aircraft, the SOSUS sonar sensor network, and SSN submarines may face new challenges. If the Type 096 is truly quieter than expected, U.S. detection capabilities would be drastically reduced. This would mean that the Chinese nuclear threat could operate virtually unhindered in oceans previously considered the exclusive domain of the U.S. In Chinese military doctrine, submarines are a crucial component of the nuclear triad: land-based missiles, air-launched missiles, and sea-launched missiles. The naval component has long been considered the weakest element. However, with the arrival of the Type 096, this situation has changed completely. According to various reports, the Type 096 is approximately 150 meters long, has a speed of up to 29 knots, and is equipped with a next-generation sensor system that allows for improved threat detection. This vessel is not only more powerful but also safer. The JL-3's exceptional range allows the submarine to remain within China's bastion without venturing into use-controlled waters. The Xi Jinping administration has publicly directed that China's SBN force experience vigorous growth by the 2030s. Therefore, Beijing plans to operate the Type 094 and Type 096 simultaneously as a transition step toward a much more formidable nuclear navy. This signals that China wants to become not just a regional power, but a truly global nuclear power capable of rivaling the United States. The Type 096 submarine is more than just a military project, it is a symbol of China's maritime resurgence. With stealth technology approaching Russian standards, long-range missiles that are changing U.S. calculations, and dramatically increased operational capabilities, it poses a strategic threat that cannot be ignored. For the United States, the Type 096 signifies the end of an era of unchallenged undersea dominance. For China, it is a guarantee that it can maintain its position as a great power, even in the event of a nuclear conflict or tensions over Taiwan. The Type 096 is the new ghost from the East, a silent machine capable of shaking up the global strategies of the superpowers and changing the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific for decades to come.